What's going on, guys? This is Bobby Douglas, and this is just part 2 of the Corey Kispert full game video breakdown. So let's get right into it. He's going to be number 24 in the white, guarding Emmett Matthews for West Virginia right now. And here he is guarding the ball. First half, we saw a little bit of everything, I think. We saw his shooting come on display. We saw his just sturdy, solid defense kind of, make an appearance. So I think overall pretty solid half for Kispert. In the second half, I think he's going to score a little bit more. Here he is kind of running, filling that trailing spot on the right side. And now he's moving him back over to the left wing. Nembhard's going to finish that. But yeah, overall though, it's just kind of who doesn't want a Corey Kispert on their team, right? That's kind of the whole thing with him, I think. He just fits in so well with any roster because of that shooting ability, right? Because of his size, his defensive versatility. He doesn't really need to guard any one position in particular, right? He can play multiple positions, correspondingly on the offensive end as well. So yeah, just a lot of different things you can use with Kispert. Obviously, he's from day one, he's going to be a grown-up in the room. He's already 22, graduated from Gonzaga. He was a senior there. So just that. It's going to be always just kind of one of those things where, older rookie, right? They should have a little bit more of an impact early on in their careers. There's Joel Ayayi making a beautiful backdoor cut. But, again, the shooting's going to really be, the A1 thing for Kispert, I would say. I don't think anybody would dispute me on that either. I think there's more to his offensive game than just the shooting. We talked a little bit in the first half, just his overall passing acumen and how, he's not really going to be a guy that's asked to be a primary distributor, but in certain spots he can definitely give you really smart, heady reads, right, coming off of pin downs and flares and then just kind of attacking the defense where they're most vulnerable. I think Kispert's really good at that, and then attacking closeouts to kind of create openings for his own driving game. I think that's something that he does really well as well. So, I think, the shooting obviously is going to be the thing that, gets the attention of every NBA team first. But then if you kind of dive into his game a little bit deeper, I think there is a really strong, body of work here, right? Like we talked about, again, attacking closeouts, the defense, just kind of the solid multi-positional thing he could offer you there. The passing, which I think is underrated. And so there are a lot of things kind of lying beneath the surface of that shooting game that I think Kispert can really offer you. And right here, it looks like Gonzaga is going to try and push it in transition. And again, remember, this game was really right there. I think they're going to get a Kispert foul. He gets into a little bit of foul trouble here, but it doesn't really affect his overall playing time. He's out for the next 10 minutes of YouTube time, then he's back in, so I'll skip ahead here. But then he doesn't come out for the rest of the game. Right here. So yeah, we went from 18 to 13, 22, and now he's in for the entire rest of the game. So you can see West Virginia right now is up by 2. So again, it's a pretty close game for Gonzaga. One of their biggest tests of the year, I would say, outside of probably UCLA and then obviously Baylor. Let's see, and again, just smart cuts from Kispert. We talked about how he could put pressure on the defense moving off the ball, right? Right here, another perfect example. He sees that his guy is going to go sink down, maybe try and guard Jalen Suggs. And what does Kispert immediately do? He's just crashing straight to the middle of the floor, right? Timmy tries to get it to him, but he can't get it. It's going to be West Virginia ball. But you can kind of just see that impact that Kispert has because you really can't take your eyes off him if you're a defender, because if you're going to leave him, he's going to be either wide open for a shot or he's going to cut and make himself put himself in a better position to score the basketball and really hurt you, right? Just those guys that just don't stop moving, right? They just have it's just draining for a defense, right? That's half the battle with Steph Curry, right? With Golden State, it's not only the fact that he's a really good shooter. Obviously, that's the big thing. That's going to get all the ESPN highlights, whatever. But it's the fact that he's constantly moving around. He never stops moving on the offensive end, and so the defense constantly has to keep tabs on him 24/7, and it creates openings for his teammates, right? Kind of just that shooting gravity that Kispert will definitely have, or he'll be the guy that is able to play off and capitalize off of a teammate's gravity, right? So let's say, for example, I'm trying to think of a team. Okay, so let's say at 21, right? Let's say at 21, the Thunder take Kispert, right? Honestly, he's probably not going to be a guy that's really asked to do a whole lot of primary creation. I don't think he'd be asked to do that anywhere, right? But if he's playing with a guy like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who can kind of have that gravitational pull, right? He can get into the lane and then draw help defenders, right? Kispert can be a guy to make that team pay, right? He can punish teams on the defensive end for leaving him, right? And again, the more shooting you have on the floor, the more spacing, the better your offense is going to flow, and that's why I really think like any team in the NBA could use a guy like Corey Kispert on their roster. From a rebuilding team to a contending team, there's going to be a role for him in the NBA. You know what I mean? Like, we obviously see like the Duncan Robinson, the effect he had on the Miami Heat when he was there. I think Kispert's a better prospect than Robinson. I don't really think they were really comparable, just outside of the shooting. But like that's the type of role I think where like that gravity will come into play, right? And we got right here, it looks like the under 12 media timeout. So here we go, we're back in. So yeah, I mean, I mentioned the Joe Harris comp. I think that's probably the best one, just because I could see that's probably like the most, just kind of like the most sensible one, I would say. Right here, again, seeing the off-ball movement of Kispert, right, just kind of taking advantage of the overplay by Taz Sherman, and then Anton Watson's going to find him with a beautiful backdoor pass, right? He can't get the layup to go, but it's going to be a foul on, I think, Oscar Tshiebwe. Looked a little bit soft, but Kispert's going to be shooting free throws here. Let's see what he does. First one's going to be a front rim and miss. That's game 2. That's Illinois versus Baylor, which was a very fun game to watch. Obviously, I was very much involved in that one, as it was my national champion pick versus my hometown, like my home state team, right? So I was very much enthused with that game, and I'm happy that Baylor won it in the end. Right here we got, let's see what we got. Gonzaga's kind of extending that defense. They like to go to this 1-2-2. Kispert's on Sean McNeil, and you can see him right there out on the perimeter. And again, just following him around, right? Looks like we got a foul here. Derek Culver is going to be shooting free throws. Both teams are in the bonus at the 11-minute mark. That's always a sign of great basketball to come when both teams are shooting free throws the rest of the way. Let's see what Kispert does here, bringing the ball up the floor. Can't really get much going there. And we got Anton Watson on the roll. Looks like an offensive foul there. And here we go. Gonzaga back on defense. Kispert kind of playing in the back end of the 1-2-2. He's on that weak side, and now he's on McNeil. Bad pass from, I don't know who that was. That Asaboyan? I don't know who threw that, but regardless, bad pass. Kispert going to go down to that corner. And again, just watch him like throughout basically the entire possession. He's never stopping moving, right? And I think that's something that, again, that's just going to be a huge deal, right? If you have a guy that's like so instinctual off the ball, it becomes so much easier to run offense for the other 4 guys on the team on the floor at the same time, right? And Kispert, again, he's not going to be a guy that's going to get all the headlines. He's not going to be your leading scorer, but he's just going to be a super solid, right, like, 12-year NBA guy that'll come in, provide spacing, be a nice kind of, low-end starter or high-end bench piece, I would say, right? You can see him right now guarding Deuce McBride. And again, just always in the good stance, not really, gambling a whole lot, just super sturdy, consistent every night on the defensive end. Right there, pretty good closeout by Kispert, good contest too. This is really impressive actually. So this is kind of his feet are not good, but he's able to kind of just correct himself really quickly and kind of give a really nice contest to Deuce McBride. And again, just not making mistakes. And then you can see kind of just like the finishing in transition. He loves running out and doing this type of stuff. And again, we talked about how in the first half he can use that strength at the rim to finish through contact. Right here, he's just going to avoid it altogether and again, just finish it right over Deuce McBride's head. Like, that's just really, really impressive stuff from Kispert. And again, that's not something he would be doing like as a freshman on Gonzaga or as like a sophomore or junior, right? He really kind of developed this part of his game this year, and it really made a huge difference for Gonzaga. Obviously, the best team in the country the second best team in the country all year, behind Baylor, obviously. But obviously right there, Final Four, good. Kispert had some big games in the tournament. And again, just so smooth too, you know. That confidence with his drives really has gotten better since he came in the door as a freshman. We got free throws here. We got a jump ball, it looks like. And more free throws, it looks like. I think that's Isaiah Cottrell. Yeah. Yeah, here we go. Now we're back. So let's see, we got Kispert, top of the key. Setting it down screen, kind of just being in that post next to Timmy. And we got an and one for Drew Timmy right here. Let's see what we got. Kispert kind of in the mid post right now, kind of fronting Cottrell. Not much really going his direction defensively right now. But again, you can see kind of like he has like bouncy feet, right? Can't really get that rebound through Derek Culver, but we're going to get a deflection West Virginia ball here. Let's see. Again, almost got that steal. And again, just like watch the recovery here too. Like he's going to gamble for this steal. He's not going to get it, right? And like you look at it right here, like Coach Ralph should have an easy lane to the basket. Good job on Timmy too for like kind of stepping up and being in two places at once. But just kind of watch Kispert how he just kind of pivots and gets right back into position, right? And again, it's like mitigated. Good job from Suggs too, actually. He kind of came over and helped him out too. But again, like just he's not going to make a lot of devastating mistakes defensively. And even when he gambles like that, or when he like maybe closes out a little bit undisciplined, right? It doesn't really, you know, seem to have a huge negative impact just because, like, you know, he's so good at recovering and he's so solid that it doesn't really, you know, do a whole lot of damage. Here's Kispert right here. The three. Can't get that one to go, but those are types of shots, obviously, to catch and shoot. Bad pass from Suggs right there. And here we go. Kispert on McCabe, the YouTube wonder boy who's now at, I think, UNLV. Yeah, UNLV. He's there now. Again, Kispert on Cottrell. He's kind of been, again, he's just guarding a bunch of different players, right? We've seen him on Deuce McBride. We've seen him on Jordan McCabe, Cottrell. We've seen him on Sean McNeil, just all over the place. Again, very versatile defender just because he's not going to screw up wherever you put him. And so that kind of like, you know, obviously he's not going to make a huge impact, but the impact for him is just going to be not fucking up defensively. Right here, again, just showing that off-ball intelligence. So he's just going to kind of get the ball, pass, and then it's kind of like an immediate ball screen slip. McCabe is totally lost. Kispert finds himself wide open under their basket, easy layup, right? And again, this Gonzaga team was kind of just built like Corey Kispert was as a player. Everybody on the floor was super intelligent, had great feel for the game. They moved the ball well. They could all shoot, right? And so Kispert was kind of like Gonzaga basketball if you had to like kind of like, you know, condense it down to one player, I would say. You know, he was the guy. So again, right there, Timmy kind of got caught out of position, but tough overall play. But then you can see Gonzaga just the hit ahead, hand one, bang. And Oscar Tshiebwe fouls out with 7.5 minutes left. And he's just like, fuck this, man. I'm getting out of here. I'm transferring. Didn't he leave? I'm trying to think when he left. Probably like, I think before January, right? Yeah, so now he's at Kentucky, which will be interesting to see. I don't think they have Olivier Sarr anymore, too. So that should be kind of his paint to kind of navigate, which is good. I think with Derek Culver and Tshiebwe together, it kind of just made things a little bit clunky. So I think one of them probably had to go. You know, just to make it a little bit more open. See, Kispert can't really get anything there. He's just going to dish it to a Yayi who can't hit the three. And here comes West Virginia. They're going to shoot a three. Air ball. Oh, we got a foul here, it looks like. I think Taz Sherman's back for West Virginia, who I actually like Taz Sherman a lot. I think he'll be very good next year. I think they made all three. And here we go. So Kispert going to kind of like run through, and again, just like watching what he does off the ball, it's just so much fun. You know, he kind of like starts at the left block, he's going to run around, kind of curl off, and then come back, fill in through the right corner, right? He's basically running his own motion offense, which I think is pretty funny. We got, he's off the ball right here. Let's see if he digs down. Not much going on there. Gonzaga gets the miss, though. And there's Timmy again, just super nice cut, super great find. I think that's by Anton Watson too. Really nice job by Gonzaga right now. Again, so now you see Kispert on Taz Sherman, right? And so just all over the place. You can play him anywhere. Let's see what happens here. Alley-oop. Hey, there's Kispert finishing with the dunk, right? Again, like, he's pretty good running out in transition, understands how to fill lanes correctly, things like that. And again, like, just the entire Gonzaga basketball team knew how to do this well. They always wanted to get out and run, right? That was kind of a big part of their offense and their overall scheme, game to game. So yeah, just right there, Kispert being the beneficiary of that, and getting that alley-oop dunk. And here we go. It's going to be free throws here. What happened? What just happened here? Oh, it's going to be a Kispert drive, and there's Derek Culver just swatting the shit out of him. There's the the obvious, like, athletic limitations with Kispert, right? He's not going to be jumping out of the gym. He's not going to be able to finish over, devastatingly good length, right? But again, that's not really going to be his job in the NBA, so I'm not super worried about it. Obviously, like, with where he's at, in the draft, kind of like that, like, post lottery to middle late first round, right? So like 16 to 25 is where I guess he'd be taken. Right there, pretty nice shot from Cottrell, I think. But obviously, like, all those guys are gonna kind of have flaws, right? And so it's just kind of like, okay, like, this guy isn't gonna do everything well, right? Otherwise, he'd be a lot higher. And so, like, you're just kind of looking for a guy who can contribute in some way or another. And guys like Kispert, I think, obviously, I think the upside, not the upside in that sense, but like just kind of like the positives to having him on your roster are pretty evident. We got a charge right here. Timmy's been all over the place in this half. Good for him. And here we go. Jalen Suggs, deep three. Nope, not going to get that one to go. But Joel Ayayi right there. Good hustle, Joel. Again, that's why I love Joel Ayayi. Kispert three. Bang. Just making him pay, right? Off the catch right here. You can see West Virginia doesn't really guard him. Bad pass from Ayayi, kind of, but it doesn't matter. Kispert, off the catch, catches it right there. Feet are set, on balance, squared up. Perfect release. And it's going to be a make for him, too. You can see him right here, kind of. That was an interesting little play. Obviously, they're comfortable with Cottrell shooting that three because they're blitzing this pick and roll, probably trying to get it out of Deuce McBride's hands. And Cottrell's just going to kind of have this open shot. You can see Suggs is kind of just like, no, we're going to leave. We're going to let that guy shoot, right? And so that was probably a game plan thing with Gonzaga to try and blitz that pick and roll. And here's Kispert in transition again. Let's see what he does. And again, you can see he kind of has some, like, dribble. He doesn't really, like, he has some dribble moves, right, where it's like he's not super comfortable shooting it off the dribble necessarily. That's kind of the one thing that maybe lacks in his overall shooting arsenal, right there, kind of just leaves that floater short. But he can kind of, like, again, like, attack closeouts. He doesn't have, like, a complete absence of a handle. So he can kind of string a few dribbles together, get to his spots, right? And if he really wants to kind of, like, enhance his game, like, kind of getting to that, like, 1-2 dribble pull-up in the mid-range, I think is something that he could really be doing well, right? And then just, like, eventually just that becomes a part of his game, right? I think that's something that could really work for him. We got free throws here, and now it's Gonzaga ball again. Final under 4 minutes here in the second half. And again, this is a pretty close game. That's going to be a foul right there. You got free throws from Nembhard. And here we go. Again, Gonzaga extending that defense. We've seen that before. You can see Kispert kind of just like laying in wait, and here he is on the ball. And now they're back into a man. Let's see what we got. Going to fight through that screen. Kispert on the ball. And again, just like not really doing anything, not really reaching, kind of giving the West Virginia guy his space a little bit, not super in his airspace or anything like that, but just, like you're not going to try and, Corey Kispert, like you're not going to get by him, right? Right here, I don't know what was going on. It looks like he was trying to double Sheboy, or that's not Sheboy, that's Culver. Trying to double Culver, kind of like, again, I think they're daring this guy to shoot, and like props to him, he drills that one. But I think that's a shot that Gonzaga is kind of like comfortable letting up in this game. And here's Kispert again. Again, oh, yeah, he stepped out. Yeah, let's see if Kispert makes that three. Bang. Yeah, of course he did. And here we go. Here's Kispert on Cottrell. Again, we've seen this before. He can, again, this is he's guarding a 4 right now. Just FYI. So again, just kind of showing you that, that any wing spot he can really guard. And I think that's something that, again, isn't really talked about a whole lot with Kispert, and that he's just again, I keep saying it, but he's just so sturdy, composed, solid. And that's something that I think is going to be really helpful for him. Right there, again, just kind of playing a little bit of drop coverage, kind of daring that Cottrell guy to just pick and pop if he wants to. I think they're kind of letting him do that, and they want to contain Deuce McBride. But we got more free throws here. I think they missed both. Did Culver miss both? Yeah. And so, again, here's a Yayi to Kispert. Let's see what happens here. Suggs, he going to shoot that? No. Kispert. Ooh, I would have shot that if I'm Kispert. I would have shot that, I think. Again, he's just going to pop out. Again, so like right here, for example, right? So this is just kind of funny because it's almost like a... so it's kind of like a Spain pick and roll, actually, right? So you're going to see Drew Timme set this ball screen, right? And then it's kind of like Corey Kispert isn't really setting that back screen, but it's kind of like the same end result where Timmy's rolling to the basket, Kispert's kind of just starting in the middle of the lane, then he's popping out for 3, right? And you can see right here, like, what happens. So, Cottrell's kind of lost, right? But Derek Culver is immediately, like, he sees this, and he's just like, oh, shit, I gotta get back out to Kispert, right? Meanwhile, the pass to Drew Timme is, like, right there. And, again, just kind of showing you that off-ball gravity that Kispert has because he's such a dangerous and, like, just lethal shooter. It kind of opens up things for his teammates, like, right there. And again, with Gonzaga in that action, like, you're going to get something open, right? You're either going to get a Nembhard drive going to his left hand, you're going to get a Timme layup, right, off of the roll, or you're going to get a wide open Kispert 3 at the top of the key, right? There's really no downside to running that play for Gonzaga, right? And West Virginia didn't really defend it well either. So, again, just like that, those are types of actions that you see that Gonzaga runs, right? And they're very similar to NBA-style things, right here to doing like a 4 wide on along the baseline. This is probably just their stall offense. But, again, that's what I mean. Like, all these Gonzaga guys, I think, are pretty built for the pros because they all run pro stuff all the time. Every single time I see this play, too, every single time. This happened when I was watching Jalen Suggs tape. It's always one play a game, basically, where a Yayi just finds some weird back cut and he just gets an easy layup out of it. I swear, it happens once a game. A Yayi, like, people have concerns about him, like, just like, they don't really buy, like, the lateral quickness defensively. They don't really know if his shooting's going to hold up. I personally just like him as, like, a rebounding cutter type guy. That's kind of, like, what I like him as. He's, like, obviously, if you guys watch my mock draft video, like, he was the guy I made a special pick for at 38 for the Bulls. I'm just like, the Bulls better fucking take Joel Ayayi. I just like the glue guy type of things that he provides. But we're going to get free throws here. 40 seconds left. Obviously, Gonzaga has this pretty much in the bag. 7-point game. But he's a guy I really like. And, I'm hoping he gets a shot somewhere in the NBA. My guess is that he gets drafted in, like, the 50s. But we'll see. Suggs right there. Not going to get that layup. 25 seconds left. Here comes Deuce McBride. And big hit ahead. Derek Culver finishes that one. 18 seconds left. They're going to foul. And we'll skip ahead here. Oh, was it what? I don't even know what happened there. But Gonzaga's on defense. Another foul. See Derek Culver, brick. Derek Culver, I think he made that one. And then here's Kispert, 18 seconds left. They're going to foul him. You can see he's 4 or 5, so he's going to split these. He is missing the first one, and again, like, that's pretty rare for him. And then this second one right here. Knocks that one down. Final 16 seconds. I think this ends up being the final score, so you can see not much going on. Kispert was right there on kind of like secondary rim protection. 10.6 left. And McNeil's going to launch. He can't get it to go. Aaron Cook rebound. And that's going to end it. So, yeah, I will pause the video now. And yeah, that wraps up the Corey Kispert breakdowns. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, like one of these guys who I think will be a decade plus long pro, just because, the shooting's going to translate immediately. He's a guy that can kind of fit in any roster, any like overall organization situation, right? Rebuilding teams, he's useful. Contending teams, he's useful. Just anywhere in the NBA, he can fit. Versatile defender, 2 through 4. Not a guy that's going to be super disruptive and just overall like noticeable defensively, but just a guy who's going to be pretty solid on that end, and then obviously the shooting, and then hopefully continuing to develop some of that other offensive game that he did this year at Gonzaga, like attacking closeouts, finishing at the rim, things like that. So, I like Corey Kispert a lot. He's probably going to be top 20 on my board. So, yeah. That'll wrap it up for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Stay tuned. I think we're going to do Josh Christopher next. So, yeah, stay tuned for him. He'll be a fun one. And, yeah, thanks so much and have a great night. Bye.